Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
The,
I have a quick question. What are you wearing like right now? Like what character is this?
this is actually an original character. I've been working on this character since 2013.
Oh wow. Damn.
And it's my ice fawn warrior. Her name is Ayani. It's an African name that means ice. So she's an ice fawn or winter fawn. So
That's awesome.
Aww.
yeah. And because of Warbler, I actually had a chance to just try it out and just try out the designs. This design actually means ice also, but when I first started, I was going for Celtic. So this is the ice sign for this is the Celtic sign for ice. So I'm like, okay, let me see if there's any symbols for Africa or any other place. They have, but I already did this, so I was like, okay, you know what? I'll just go with the name. So Ayani in African means ice, so that's the character name, and I like it.
It's really pretty. Did you do anything special for the gems on both the gold and the Ayani?
Okay, for the gems on this is not the right color. I actually used nail polish to color to get this color because I couldn't find the correct gem color for this character. This is actually Princess Celestia character from My Little Pony, and I couldn't find this color or mixed a dye or anything like that. So my friend suggested just use nail polish.
That's
But
awesome.
you know what? Yeah, so I went around to Ricky's and I found the perfect color, and it had like a little shimmer shine to it. And I just painted the gems.
It looks awesome.
And to this color, I was like, oh wow, that works. And also, because of that idea, I was looking for a metallic blue paint for this armor. Couldn't find the right one, so the shine, I don't know if you can see the shine a little bit on it. That's also nail polish.
Oh my gosh.
Not a nail polish.
No, it's actually, I actually bought two, the blue color, and only used 1.5 for all the armor pieces. Because it's just the surface.
Okay.
To give it
A little bit of a shimmer. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome though. I would have never thought of that.
For props, if you do not have money to make props, or you want a character or a weapon for a character, sometimes I'm really lazy and I don't make my props. I just go to the Halloween store and I look at certain weapons or shields or whatever, and then I would get a plastic sword. I would spray paint it. The paint came off a little bit to make it more look realistic. Also would paint the hilt of the sword to give it more of a realistic look. It's a little, if you're on a budget and you don't really want to buy the materials. I think this sword cost about $10 at the Halloween Adventure by Union Square area over there. So if you're in New York and you don't, you want something quick, you can go to Abracadabra, which is on 23rd and 6th in that area, and Halloween Adventure.
Yes, I have a question about the breastplate that you have and the other gems that you have on the clothing too. How did you do those?
I made these out of resin. The 2-part resin box that they have at the Michaels and Joann's. Again, I couldn't find the dye, so I just ended up buying the $1 pack glitter, and I just mixed it in with it, and then I set it for 24 hours, and yeah, that's it.
And,
I have a question. What about the fur trim? Because it's really striking. Is that what's the material? How did you attach it? All that
Well, I actually used the hot glue gun just to
really?
attach it, because I wasn't planning on the fur, because after I made the breastplate, it was it looked a little too plain. So first I added spikes to it. I was like, oh, okay, it's getting there. And then it's I had a piece of fur in a bag. I had black, but I'm like, it's ice, so it's like white, and I had pieces of white left. So it's like, I just put it underneath. I'm like, oh snap. Okay, yeah. So I just like hot glued the fur around in the trim, and that's it. Made it pop. I even have like a little piece of fur with me. If I have it, I can just put it on my shoulder, and all of a sudden I look boss.
So how long did that take you overall?
I actually made all of this during the winter storm, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then yesterday I finished. What did I finish yesterday? The pauldrons.
Oh,
Yeah. Yesterday I did the pauldrons.
I'm going to her house for costume party.
You'll motivate me. Like, I'll come in and I'll be like, I'd rather just watch Netflix. You're like, no, girl.
I honestly don't know how I do it, because when I work, and most of the time I work doubles, and then I go home. I'm like, is it midnight yet? No, I can work on something. It's past midnight. It's 1:30. I'm like, okay, if I finish it at 1:30, I can get take a little nap. Wake up instead of waking up at 5 o'clock. I can wake up at 6:30. Yeah. So yeah, I really don't know how I do it, but I do it.
That's why I go to your house to work on my stuff, right?
Like, it's like 6 o'clock at night. I could work on cosplay for like 5 hours, but I can also play League of Legends instead. I think I'm gonna play League of Legends, and then a week before the con, I'm like, why did I do this? It was a mistake. Why did I do this?
It happens though, because most of the time, when I start something early, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start this cosplay early. I'm gonna get it done so I can work on something else. I'm like, okay, the con is next week. Okay, the word is no sleep. No sleep. Oh, what is that? No, I don't know.
Sleep.
Yeah.
So I have another question. One reason why I invited you here is because your cosplays are really on point, but also you have like a lot of recognition for your cosplays. Like you were telling me that you were publishing a lot of magazines, like you were featured on a TV show. Like, can you tell us a little bit about that experience and how you made the transition into that stuff? Like, how did you make those connections?
Actually, the first publication that I was in was through an anime meetup group.
Really?
What is his name? Michael used to be in charge of that.
Do you know which, like, was it?
It was on meetup.com.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was meetup.com, and it was like, a long time ago. I started cosplaying in 2003.
All right.
Yeah.
Old
So
school.
yeah. I don't. And in between there, when I first started, I went to every possible convention.
There were a lot fewer back then too.
I know, yeah. So my first one was BAF 2003, and then I was like, I saw cosplay. I was like, I want to do this. Then I found out about Icon. Then we went to Connecticut, Enemy Boston, Enemy Next, Otakon. I know I'm missing a few there, but yeah. Then it just took off from there. And then I started even doing my own designs, t-shirt designs and plushie designs. And then when New York Comic Con, well, New York Anime Fest.
The tickets were only like $30.
Yeah. And I had a table over there, and I was just loving it. I was like, yes, I need more. And then they combined it. But
Got swallowed.
So, yeah. So, yeah, with my first recognition, as I said, was through meetup.com and anime meetup, and from there on, meeting up different people, and then also with my client, who's not my best friend, Geisha V, because she used to do hosting and things like that. She asked me to make a costume for her. That would be the first time I've done a commission work. So I made a original character for her. She got published in Time Out magazine. Time Out New York. Time Out New York magazine. My name was there too. I was like, and then from her, you know, she kept coming back. I keep making her costume, and she would also let people know that people would also contact me, and she would like include me in everything. So that's how come I ended up being in a few Japanese publication and just like little web TV series and stuff like that.
That's awesome. All right. Well, I have one more question to kind of follow up on that. Since you are, did you think that it was a little easier for you to get recognition back then as opposed to now when there's a lot more cosplayers and they're doing things that are a little more risque to get attention? Like, do you think it would be easier for a person to get published in a magazine like Time Out New York or you know, the Village Voice or anything like that?
It depends on, I guess, popularity. It really does. Now, like back then, I didn't think people really didn't really care about that as much as when I started. It was more about, you know, just having fun and being in costume and just like meeting people and like, you know, oh, somebody actually liked the same thing I like. You know, let's stay in contact. And when you have people living in different states, the only place that they can actually meet and like have fun with each other is at conventions. And it's like, you know, that was really the main thing back then. Now with the popularity of cosplay, I like it, but there's also some negative consequences to it too, you know. And it's good and bad. That's because now if I walk them down the street in my costume when it's not Halloween, right? I'll get a few reactions. People, oh, nice costume or whatever. You know, it's not like, oh, they would think, are you going to New York Comic Con? Like, no, that's not. But something like that, yeah, it's less aggressive now with cosplay being mainstream.
When the next time we're going to see Rita Repulsa?
Yeah. Repulsa too. I'm so mad about that.
I have to fight you.
Okay. What happened was,
you know what? I love Rita Repulsa. I really do. Is that every time she's a lot to bring, and I have to redo the staff too. It's chipped because that was my. The staff was my first major prop that I made, and I used poster board and the foam in the can, the spray, I forgot, the expanding foam, and spackle. Wow, it's heavy, but it was a really big accomplishment with my first big prop with that. That's. After making Rita Repulsa, I was like, oh, I need to make more stuff with props. Now I'm like, I feel like I'm becoming a prop queen or something like that because it's like I can't stop. But Rita Repulsa, I think Big Apple Con is coming up.
Yeah.
And that's a one-day con, right?
Yeah.
I'll probably wear it there.
It's in March.
Yeah.
March 5th.
Okay, yeah, probably. Walking down the street. And Rita Repulsa. Yeah.
now bring my woods in. Just for you.
Any other questions?
All right, thank you so much. So wait, I want you to again shout yourself out. Tell us every single way that we can reach you, and I'm gonna get that door for the late people. So yeah, just tell us everything about yourself.
Well, I'm Lil Heaven Cosplay. You can contact me on Facebook.com/LilHeaven LILHEVN. My Instagram is also spelled LILHEVN. Everything on Google, once you spell that word, you'll find everything of mine. I made it really easy.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Yay.